take control of fate now. I control my flow, and I know that I'll be great. How putting on a show.
We are under the lights this evening as we get you set for another edition of Baseball on the Show. It's Game 1 of the World Series between the Cincinnati Reds and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to the World Series here on the show. With me is Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac. And Dan, we'll start with you. This series has the feel of one that's about to get very interesting.
Looking at these two squads, it's clear both of them have several guys that can hurt you with the bat. It's not just the middle of the order guys that you have to look out for as a pitcher. So the team that gets the timely hitting and quality at bats is probably going to prevail.
It's the moment these players have been waiting for. Game 1 of the Fall Classic is on the show, and it's coming up next. Chris Sale gets the call on the mound here at home for Game 1 of the World Series. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
Thanks, Matt. Chris Sale, you're talking about one of the premier pitchers in the game of baseball. Big fastball, 95 to 98 miles an hour. Wipe out slider. Great comparison. He's the closest thing we've seen to Randy Johnson. A nightmare against lefties. Three-pitch guy, fastball, slider, and a changeup that's getting better all the time. He is a definition of a true ace.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Hit on the ground to third. Devers gloves it. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. Reds are down in order. And now the Red Sox get their turn. No score.
Hey, stick to your plan up
Stepping
there.
in,
Get your
Sean
pitches right.
Brown. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time.
Yeah, I understand that, Matty, but this guy's got burner wheels down the first base line. I don't think he even concerns himself with that. He has to put it on the ground. That's part of what makes him successful.
And that'll find its way into center field for a one-out hit.
Dan, that can't bother you too much as a pitcher. Guy swinging first pitch.
Now, one of the things you want to do, D-Rose, you have to try to get ahead with the first pitch. You want to throw one of the first two pitches for strikes. Unfortunately, sometimes when you bring the ball in the strike zone, you're bound to give up some base hits, but hopefully he can minimize the damage here.
Here now the 2-2. He swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. And with 2 away here in Game 1 of the World Series, let's give you a little refresher course at the roads these two teams took to get where they are tonight. So 2 are gone now for the Reds in their half of the 4th. And the right-handed hitting Nicholas Castellanos will bat next. Runner aboard at first here with 2 gone in a 1-1 ball game. Little chopper back to the mound. Throw to first in plenty of time, and the side is retired. 1 left for Cincinnati. On to the bottom of the 4th, tied 1-1. Striding in, Sean Brown, runner in scoring position with 2 gone.
Wow.
He's set the payoff pitch.
Ball 4.
And that misses ball 4, so it's first and second now with 2 out. Now at the plate, Eugenio Suarez. We'll see if he can come through in a clutch spot here. 2 on, 2 out here in inning number 6. He's set the 3-2. Now a fastball swung on and missed, and that is out number 3. No runs, a hit, 2 left. The 5, 6, and 7 slots due up in the bottom of inning number 6, all tied at 1-1. Now at the plate, Sean Brown will be charged with trying to get on board leading off the 9th.
Hard pitch right there that was inside makes it awfully tough now to cover both the inside and the outside part of the plate.
The 1-0. Hard hit towards center.
Pick it up, pick it up.
He lays out for it, but he can't pull it in. And this ball needs to be retrieved way out near the 420 sign. Tying run headed home. Safe at the plate. It's a 2-2 game.
The fans are not happy, and I can't blame them. And inside the Parker on that hit, there's simply no excuse for that. And everyone in the ballpark knows it. We'll see if he can shake it off and get out of the top half of this inning.
Not a lot of runs put on the board in this one, but here's a guy that found a way to make a difference. He's the tops player of the game.
Yeah, Matty, he definitely led the way. You'll see there, he turned in a 4-hit performance, and that definitely keyed his guys to victory.
And it's a 4-3 finish in this evening's ball game. Boston win the World Series opener and take a 1-0 lead. David Robertson pitches well enough to get the W. So that's a wrap here tonight. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and Heidi Watney, this is Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, find us on Twitter at MLB The Show. It's time for baseball here on The Show. Game 2 of the World Series between the Cincinnati Reds and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to the World Series here on The Show. I'm joined by Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac. And Danny, an important ball game coming up here in Game 2.
Yeah, it was a good start for these guys at home. They did what they needed to do in the opening game, and this crowd really showed up and made a difference as well. Should be an electric atmosphere again, so we'll see if the guys on the field can feed off it and take a commanding lead in this series.
The build-up to this one is just about over. It's time for all the drama of World Series baseball on The Show. And we'll have it for you next. Taijuan Walker is on the mound for Game 2. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, we're going to get a chance to look at a guy that is a little bit up and down throughout points of his career. A career ERA just over 4. When he's good, he can be really good. And when he's bad, well, let's just say he can be pretty bad at times. But it'll be interesting to see which one we see. He's a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde. Hopefully he's going to be a little bit more Jekyll than Hyde in this one here today.
Hit the other way out toward right field. Verdugo waits on it. He makes the play, and that'll end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Reds. Now the Red Sox will get their shot, no score. Settling in now, Sean Brown. He flew out in his last at-bat.
Almost, Matty. Almost went deep his last AB. Certainly just missed it. With this guy's big power, he's feeling pretty good.
Ew, was that ugly? You could probably throw anything out there to this guy. He'd swing at the rosin bag if you throw it up there.
Grounded down the third baseline. Devers fields it cleanly, and there's out number 2. And that'll bring up the left-handed hitting Andrew Benintendi. 0 for 1 for him here in this one.
This game is rolling right along as we move into the middle innings with no score. You'd think by now one of these two teams would be able to get some base runners on and get them in, but that hasn't been the case.
Hit on the ground out to short. Reined in. And a good throw gets him 1 gone. Digging in to try it again, Kevin Pillar.
Number 5, Kevin.
No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Red Sox to this point. Bouncer up the middle. Scooped up. Throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at first saves an error as this side is retired. Down in order go the Red Sox. They're on the short end of a 4-0 score. Darwinzon Hernandez takes over to start the 6th inning on the mound.
Number 63, Darwinzon Hernandez.
Standing in, Sean Brown. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time.
The shortstop, Sean Brown. Come on, let it fly.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. In the air out toward right field. And the 6th inning opens with a flyout, 1 away. Stepping into the box, Sean Brown.
Hey, let's go, big fella. Hey, get your pitch up there. Let's go, baby.
There's a swing, and he sends a ball high in the air into left field. Gone! Over the monster for a home run. So a 3-run blast to straightaway left, his 2nd home run of the series, as they've pushed this lead up to 9 now. And we've seen 4 round trippers from these guys so far. Dan, D-Row, what do you make of all this?
D-Row, I don't know what you think, but this is one of those cases where I think the hitters right now, they must be seeing beach balls up there right now.
Sean Brown will be his first assignment upon entering as he'll bat with the runner in scoring position here and
To come into the heart of the plate, and they did damage with it.
into center field, line drive base hit. And the runner from second is in to score.
Wow, that's a baker's dozen. 13 runs right there, and they can't do anything wrong at the plate. I'm no expert, but I would have to bet that the manager would love to save some of those runs for the next game. Regardless, there's some happy men in that dugout.
At the plate, Eugenio Suarez. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point.
Eugenio Suarez.
Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Sent on the ground out to second. And that's through for a hit.
Come on, get out, get out, get out.
He'll be thrown out at third. Trying to take the extra base with 2 gone, and the inning is now over. So they nearly bat around here as 8 men come to the plate, and they push across 4 runs. Not too many more shots left. Home half of the 8th coming up. Reds lead this.
Well, that wasn't exactly a nail-biter, but it's always nice when you can get an offensive explosion like that and save your closer for another day. A comfortable victory.
One more look at the final line score there to see the great pitching performance that led his guys to the victory. Well, we watched a really solid starting pitching performance, kept the opposition at bay, and as a result, he's our top player of the game.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate that he couldn't quite get that last out he needed in the ninth, but still, 8 2/3 innings of solid work. He deserves a lot of credit.
14-1, the final tally here. Cincinnati have evened up this World Series at 1 game apiece. Masahiro Tanaka is the winning pitcher of record. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
The winning pitcher is Masahiro Tanaka. The loss goes to Taijuan Walker. Time of the ball game, 4 hours and 29 minutes.
We are under the lights as the show gets you ready for another edition of Major League Baseball. It's Game 3 of the World Series between the Boston Red Sox and the Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everybody. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to the World Series here on the show. With me is Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac. And Dan, lots to talk about here as we get ready for Game 3.
Well, when you start this series on the road, obviously you'd love to sweep the first 2 games, but coming out of there with a split is pretty solid too. Now they come home, they've taken back home field advantage, and we'll see if they can feed off this crowd and take control of this series.
The build-up to this one is just about over. It's time for all the drama of World Series baseball on the show. And we'll have it for you next. Felix Pena will do the pitching in Game 3 of the series. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
Hey, in a day and age where we don't see very many complete games, 6 really good innings in his last start to pick up the win, and I think they'll be happy if he can duplicate that again in this one.
Time for a look at the Cincinnati Reds on D. And let's take a look at third baseman Eugenio Suarez, one of the more underrated players in our sport. Big-time power from the right side, ability to crush a hanging breaking ball. Also, soft hands at the hot corner. Very reactionary down there, and a strong arm.
Leading off tonight for Boston, the left fielder, Andrew Benintendi.
The 1-2. Softly hit out toward short. And a bit of a high throw that time, but no problem over there at first as they record the out.
Well executed two-seamer on the outside corner that time, and that's what you'll get a lot of with that pitch. He rolled right over it.
Coming to the plate now, Sean Brown. First cuts for him here with the bases open and 2 away.
Hey, let it fly up there, huh?
player, but I'm okay being a pitcher's umpire. If you're going to consistently pound that outer half, James Kingsley's usually going to...
And we'll have to leave it there as this is strike 3, and that will retire the side. We've played an inning, still 0-0. So it's back to the top of the order now. And up next, the exciting left-handed bat of Andrew Benintendi. The 2-2. Oh, and it's tailor-made to short. 6, 4, 3, and they turn the double play.
It's hard to do anything with a pitch like that that's below the zone. And if you do anything with it, most of the time, this will be the result. A double play on a good pitch down in the zone.
Back here with Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, as the left-handed hitting power threat Anthony Rizzo starts out the inning. Bogaerts on at first, nobody out. Down the first baseline, fielded cleanly to second for 1, on to first, and it's a double play, the second they've hit into in these first 4 innings, and there are 2 away now.
That's one of the hardest double plays to turn right there because of the difficult throw the first baseman has to make. No problem this time, though, and they get the 2 outs they were looking for.
So 2 gone now here in the Red Sox 4th, and that brings up the outfielder Alex Verdugo. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. That's a strike to throw down, and he is out at second. Caught stealing to end the inning. A couple of walks, but no damage. We'll have more of Game 3 after this message. Digging in now, Sean Brown comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ballgame.
This game is rolling right along as we move into the middle innings with no score. You'd think by now one of these 2 teams would be able to get some base runners on and get them in, but that hasn't been the case.
Come on, guy, get your pitch up there.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Oh, and he gets the inning started with a bang as this is hit high and deep to left field. Gone! A solo shot here to left. His 3rd home run of this series. As the Reds strike first, it's 1-0.
Hitting a home run in the World Series is special at any point. Hitting a home run in the World Series that gives your team the lead, that's something to tell the grandkids about.
Digging in once again, Sean Brown.
Not shortstop, Sean Brown.
First pitch coming. Here it is.
Nice, Rick. Yeah, there you go.
Line, that's a base hit in the left field.
Make the turn.
The runner from second crosses the plate.
That's it, big guy. Attaboy.
And now time is called here as their pitching coach is going to pay a quick visit to the mound to discuss how they want to attack things here. So coming to the plate, Eugenio Suarez. 0 for 2 for him to this point.
Eugenio Suarez.
Takes this the other way to right. That's in there. Base hit.
Right here, right here.
Oh, and the throw back in is a wild one. But they'll catch a break as the runners are going to stay where they are here as there's no advance.
Boy, there's a bullet base hit right there, but you have to hold there, D-Row, to make sure that gets down and isn't caught for a line drive double play.
Yeah, you have to play the game right there and respect the infield and respect the line drive. I know he wants to get a ribby for his buddy, but that's the way the game's played.
Hey, come on, big guy. Get your pitch.
He's set, and the payoff pitch. And this is swung on and missed. Oh, a huge punch out there as the bases remain loaded with 2 away now.
I'm really impressed by that strikeout, and I'll tell you why. He should have gotten a call on the pitch before, and it looked like he got squeezed a little bit. In a bases-loaded situation, that could drive a guy nuts, drive you crazy. What I loved is he didn't let him take it out of his game, and he came back with another good pitch and got the punch out. A really nice job of taking it one pitch at a time.
And he gets him to pop it up on the right side of the infield. Rizzo is there to make the catch, and they'll escape the bases-loaded jam by giving up just 1 run. Some of our nation's young minds and future leaders here in attendance. Yikes. Back with more from Game 3 after this. And the next up will be Alex Verdugo.
The right fielder, number 99, Alex Verdugo.
One out.
The 1-1 home. Ball to second. And that's through for a hit. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
Boy, that's one of the, I guess, the advantages of hitting with that hole between first and second base, D-Row. First baseman has to hold that runner on. That leaves that right side.
Leading off the inning, Sean Brown, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up. And now in advance of a big 3-2 pitch, time is called at the plate as he'll press the reset button. Three-two pitch, and that misses ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to start the home 7th.
And I'm sure the manager is just fine with that. I mean, it's better to battle a slugger like that to the end and end up walking him than serving on up where he can really hurt you.
Ready for another chance? Eugenio Suarez. He singled his last time up. Nobody out, runner on first. A bouncer to the left side. LeMahieu for 1. On to first, and that's the very last thing they needed at this point in the ball game as there are quickly 2 away now.
Nice job on the mound to bounce back from the leadoff walk. Those are usually pretty costly, but that won't be the case this time after the 2-ball.
Now at the plate, Andrew Benintendi. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far.
Hey, we got 1.
1 out, nobody on. Flipped out the other way toward short. Off balance throw, but he couldn't get enough on it, so it'll be scored as an infield single.
Boy, there's a quality infield base hit right there. That kind of reminded me of the old Yankees shortstop Derek Jeter on that jump throw.
Hey, that's why this is the pros. Back in the day, that's a knock all day long. But up here, guys are making those plays, at least making you think about them. That's an amazing play by the shortstop to leave his feet and at least make this close.
Settling in now, Sean Brown.
Not shortstop. John.
Hey, boys, you talking about getting your ace swing off right here? That's what it looks like. A guy with massive power letting it eat.
The Reds down to their last strike. Now a swing and a ground ball. This should do it.
Move it.
Throw on to first, and the Red Sox are going to take home field advantage right back. They win Game 3 to go up 2-1 as this one is over.
Well, it's getting more and more common in baseball now these days to use a ton of pitchers to get through a game, and it took 6 here to get the job done, but hey, they'll do whatever they can to get a W.
And they did some damage offensively in this one, enough to get the win, and this man led the charge. He's our top player of the game.
Well, the numbers don't just jump out at you, but his lone hit was a really important one. And sometimes you just need to come through when it matters most to be the hero, and he did just that.
5-2 the final score tonight. The Boston Red Sox have taken a 2-1 lead in this World Series. Darwinzon Hernandez is the winning pitcher of record. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
The final line score for our ball game tonight. For the victorious Boston Red Sox, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They left 13 men on base.